day 22. It's about 9:30 AM. We're the last people to leave the Albergue again. And yesterday we walked 30 kilometers. I actually hadn't planned on walking at all. I said to Matthew, look, I've had enough, I'm going to get the bus. And Matthew, we went and had a cup of tea, and Matthew talked me into walking a bit. And
I didn't talk you into walking?
Well, whatever happened anyway was that we started walking, and I hadn't planned on walking that far, and there was no shop, not one shop open between the previous time we were in, which I can't remember the name of, and here in Moratinos. So that's 30 kilometers and nowhere to buy food. And we're exposing that boy to all kinds of elements. Today, it's snowing. So he's actually completely covered up, and he's fine. I just keep looking down at him all the time. And
look at all the layers he's got on. He's got a hood underneath this, then a hat, then another hood, and then he's got this windproof coat, which wraps actually around him and zips up, so it covers his legs and everything.
And then he's got this green one, which is going to be over the top of his head, so his head actually won't be exposed at all once we start walking. So, yeah. We're going to walk to Sahagun and see what the temperatures are like, and we'll take it from there.
There's some pilgrims that have just set off on the trail just over there. It's like whatever, -3 or -4 at the minute. The wind has died down slightly, and this morning it was blowing a blizzard here, and then we thought maybe we can't walk in this, but now it's cleared up a bit. The wind's going to be between 20 and 30 kilometers an hour today. And with wind chill, that can really drop the temperature down to minus double figures. So we're gonna walk to Sahagun, which is 9 kilometers, and then we'll reassess whether we can keep going or not. If the weather is that bad, then there's no public transport here, so we have to at least walk to Sahagun before we can get any sort of public transport to anywhere. The albergue we stayed in last night was very, very nice. Let's have a look at it actually. We stayed in there. Very nice heated floors, servicios there, toilets and everything. And then this is the main, how would you say, lobby area. Kitchen in there. We got served good food last night. They're able to accommodate our vegan needs. And then they had that fire going here. We sat net here. The 6 of us sat down at net. It's one of the great things about doing it in winter is there's just like a few of us sitting here and then just enjoying a very nice cozy meal together. This is an interesting map here because it shows the whole like levitation altitude. And if the mountains that you saw yesterday that were all snow-capped, those are all these mountains here. And we're down here at the minute, walking this way along the Camino towards Leon. What my concern was here, we have to go over this mountain here, so that's going to be definitely snow covered, maybe quite deeply. So, and then over here we have to go over another mountain here, which is going to be snow covered, I guess, when we get there. That's about a week away or more. But at the minute, snow has hit us right here, so who knows what it's going to be like. But we're taking it, our main priority is just to be safe and keep Indigo warm and dry, and so far we've been able to do that. And this is the lovely Hospitalero Michael from Italy that has been keeping us very warm and well fed. Ready to rock?
Yeah.
It feels lovely underfoot, the crisp crunch of the snow. Indigo's in his cocoon there. Completely cocooned. Completely dry, completely improved. We went to bed last night in the north of Spain, and we woke up in Narnia. Here we have some fox tracks. See, they come out here, out of the bush. What we've just noticed is there was an Irish guy who set off about 20 minutes before us, and there's no tracks. We've got up front now, and and there's zero tracks. So we're thinking, like, where did he go? Did he step off in the wrong direction or what? Hopefully he's on the right track. Maybe he's gone the main road or something, but no tracks. But he's the sort of guy who can take care of himself. He's probably just stepped off in the wrong direction. Maybe he'll find his way. In this weather, I always make sure to keep my ears completely covered, keep my fingers covered, all the extremities, especially a bit of wind chill. I've learned from experience the hard way. I got some frostbite when up in the Arctic on the tops of my ears and the ends of my fingers when I let them get exposed, just for like 15 minutes, and or maybe more than that. But if a very strong cold wind came in and just froze my ears, froze my fingers, and nearly lost for 6 months. Every time the skin grew, it just peeled right back off again, and it was very sore, and my ears swelled up like twice the size. So I've learned from experience, always keep the extremities completely covered, because it can happen very, very fast. The nose is a different matter. The nose it takes longer for the nose to freeze up. I think it's maybe the warm air. If you're breathing in out of the nose all the time, it keeps it warm. But the ears and the fingers and the toes, you want to keep them warm at all times. It was blizzard conditions when I first looked out the window this morning. I got up, looked out the window, and it was like everything was completely white out. I thought, oh my god, are we going to be able to walk today? Is it going to be safe? But it turns out that it's beautiful. I'm absolutely loving it this morning, walking in the snow. Very, very nice.
When we were in France, Matthew was being very strict with his diet. It was like, okay, I'm only going to eat fruit. And when we got to the next 2 towns, he was quite lucky. There was fruit. Well, not maybe the next 2, but definitely the next one, and then the one after that. He was able to get fruit. But now it's so difficult to get a shop that's open. You know, the guy last night, he said, I'm going to make pasta with tomato sauce, and Matthew's like, great, because there's nothing else available. So I think if you were like a hardcore raw foodist and you want to do the Camino, you want to do it in summer, because in winter it's really difficult to get anything. Some of the towns we walk through, there's absolutely, it's like a ghost town, and I noticed my skin's getting really bad. I'm really feeling not so healthy at the minute, because we haven't been eating all the vegetables and the fruit that we normally would, and I can really notice it.
I have to say that I'm feeling the complete opposite. I can't remember feeling this healthy. I am feeling so incredibly healthy. Just doing this walking every day, being out in the fresh air. I'm feeling fantastic. I'm feeling like I'm like 19 years old again. Even though we're not eating the most nutritious food, I have to say that I'm feeling incredibly healthy. Now we're just coming over the hill, and there's Sahagun in the distance. Quite a big town. We're heading there. We're now entering the province of Leon. So we're over here just about to come into Sahagun, and then we've got to Leon to go in the next couple of days. I'm walking here with Sebastian from Chile. Hi. How are you finding the Camino, Sebastian?
Yeah, quite interesting, you see. I have plenty of reasons why I'm here. First, kind of vacation. Secondly, because I read a lot of things about it. Quite interested in the primitive origin of the Camino, and it had been walked since previous Christian era. You see, that's why it's been interesting for me. You see that people used to see at the stars, walk through the Milky Way, and then get to the Compostela, that in Spanish means Campo de Estrellas. You know where is that in Spanish? Compostela?
Yeah, the field of stars.
Field of stars, yeah.
For me, it's just life calling me. Just listening to life, listening to intuition, You know, when something comes up, it's like, okay, this is like a message from life. You know, like I read the book from Paulo Coelho and I'm like, oh yeah, I like that. You know, it's just like a little spark. I feel like a little spark in my heart. You know, I'd like to do that. And then I hear more about it, and more and more. It becomes more than a coincidence then. When you hear so much about it from different places, different people, it's like, okay, maybe this is like life knocking on my door saying, okay, come and do this. And there's a reason for it. Something that I don't think can be intellectualized. It's more of a feeling. And for me, it's just going with the flow of life rather than resisting it. Listening to the coincidences, synchronicities, and following them. So this is Sahagun. We've just left Sahagun after being fully fed and watered. The first half of today was great, walking through the snow. Now we're in the second 10k, going to Bercianos somewhere. The sun has come out, it's warmed up a bit, the ground just thawed. Here's some sheep. You see they're not fenced in or anything. They have like a shepherd with them. Interesting, huh? I think the turnips or something. We'll go back to Sahagun. There we find it so much better. It was like a bigger town. First sort of fairly decent town we've been in a lot of days. Most days we're in these tiny villages with hardly anything. And we find going to Sahagun was much cheaper, much better service. And that's because of healthy competition. You know, such a thing as healthy competition. And some people think that competition isn't spiritual. Well, competition can be spiritual. It depends on you know, how it affects the person, and you know, if it improves you, if it improves everyone around, improves everything, then sure, that's spiritual. You know, evolution is a spiritual thing, and if it helps us evolve, then competition can be spiritual. Going into some of those little villages, the little towns, where there's only like maybe one shop, if we're lucky, one bar or cafe, you know, they can put the price at whatever they wanted to, and we have no choice, we have to pay them. Their service can be crap, but we have no choice. We can't say we're going next door because there's no other options. But in Sahagun, there's plenty of options, so people keep their prices low, they make their service better, they improve everything, they make their place look better, more accommodating. So then it's improvement, everyone feels better about it. So that's healthy competition. And we sure had a better time going through there and having better service and everything than we did in some of the places where there was no competition. So competition can be spiritual. The sun is shining, we're in a field in the middle of northern Spain. We're having a flying break. My lovely son loves your flying. Here we pay homage to a pilgrim who finished his pilgrimage right here, finished his Camino. Manfred Crest Frederick left this planet, left this world on the 9th of the 6th, 1958. Some people, they know they're going to die. Maybe they've been given the death sentence by the doctor or something, or they just know it's their time, and so instead of just, you know, lying in bed or lying in a hospital, they go on Camino, they go on pilgrimage, and I think it's a great way to go. Just go walking until eventually you drop. Why not? Entering Bercianos, and I think that's the freshest we've been after walking 20k. What do you think?
I think we're staying here, darling.
It was a pretty handy walk, really. It wasn't too up and downhill. I think we're getting fitter and stronger as we go. I feel like a couple of 30Ks now, so to do 20K in contrast isn't such a big deal anymore. I know. So we found the Albergue. This is it here. It wasn't the one that we thought it was. There's this one here, and you wouldn't think about it. You think, oh God, what's behind this one? We walked all around the town to find this one. In the end, we just followed the green arrows and we found it. And it's lovely.
It's one of the nicest albergues we've stayed in. She's actually got like fresh covers on the beds. It's like staying in a bed and breakfast rather than in a hostel or an albergue. And she specifically said she'd look at clean the sheets every day. And it looks very, very clean and homely. It's like in her house, and it's beautiful there.
Yeah.
And warm and cozy, and so we're very happy to have found it.
And it's all by donation.
And it's all by donation.
And even if we want to wash our clothes, put them in the drying machine, all by donation. We asked to give her money, and she said just put it in the sheep. There's like, she has like a money box. Just put it in there, whenever you want, and that's it. So you know, really happy we're there, right?
Yeah, she's very friendly.
Yeah.
Again, there was when we arrived, I was wondering where the Chilean boys were and the Brazilian guy, and I figured, oh, they've got
Tori running after these South American young fellas, I don't know.
No, I realised I do get attached to people. You know, you meet people and then you kind of you get to know them and you want to be friends with them. And then one of the lessons of the Camino to me is just that we're on our own Camino. We don't have to do everything at the pace that everyone else is doing it, and I have to kind of just not be so attached
to young boys.
To anybody. It was the same with the Korean girls. I missed them once they were gone, but we're always meeting new people, and it's so nice to meet so different people all the time. So.
Yeah.
Indigo wants to be on camera.
Hey son, you're on camera. You know what you gotta do when you're on camera? You gotta smile. You gotta smile. Yeah, you're not allowed to cry when you're on camera. So we're just going to the supermarket to buy some food, and then we're going to go back and we're going to cook it there. So
I'm wondering what vibrational energy I need to be in for there to be lots of fresh vegetables and fruit in the shop.